Hello, stamping friends. This is true. Thing. So glad to see you here today. It is Wednesday, August 21st, 2024, and it's time for our card lesson of the week. So today, I thought I would actually use our annual catalog to help us to learn color theory. Or I'm sorry, this month, I've been doing a lot of things related to scrapbooking. And something that's really important to scrapbooking is color theory and how you use that to enhance either your photos or the story you want to tell when you are creating an album. And it looks like our connection is a little spotty. There we go. It's coming back. All right, so let me open the catalog here. So this is our annual catalog. And I'm going to go to page 132. And there's really a wonderful tool in here. We have this color wheel, and actually we are going to be bringing out a 3D version of this color wheel. I don't know when it's going to be launched yet, but I do know that I find myself referring to the one in the catalog a lot to help me as I'm choosing colors. And so there are 4 different types of ways you can look at color, and they have featured them here in the catalog and given you a little bit of information. There's monochromatic, complementary, I'm going to say this is the test, analogous, and triadic. Okay, now I'm going to share the analogous one today and show you how it can help create a mood on your cards. So when I was looking at mood, and I was looking at the stamp set I'm featuring today called Playing in the Rain, I thought look at something that creates the mood of a sunny day, which I'm saying is kind of like a happy day, and rainy days that are better with you. Or rainy days. So anyway, that's the sentiment. Rainy days are better with you. So I decided to pick 2 sets of colors that are analogous and use those as examples. So when I was looking in here, I looked to the yellows to do the sunny one, and I'll show you that card at the end of the broadcast today. But anyway, let me just show you those in larger cardstock so you can see. These are 3 colors that come together on our color wheel, and I've put Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, and Lemon Lolly. Okay, so that was the one that I did in preparing for the lesson, and I'll show you that at the end. And then I decided we would work on the rainy day one, and I would go into blues, and I decided to go Balmy Blue, Azure Afternoon, and Misty Moonlight. So those are also right next to each other on the color wheel. So that's what we'll be using today. So I'm going to set those aside, and let me close up our catalog and start creating this card. So I decided that we would use Misty Moonlight. Here, I'm going to let you see the desktop a little better. And there. So I have Misty Light, and we're going to have just a piece of basic white for our card front. Now, this is the regular half piece of 8.5 by 11. So it actually is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so we'll just be folding this with our bone folder here. And we'll have our card base ready to go. So I'm just going to set that here. I don't need that purple cardstock. All right, and then I have basic white which is going to go on here like our normal card front, and that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this is also the same measurement that I'll use for the card insert at the end here. So let's just set our card front and card base apart, and we're going to make some strips of these different colors to feature on the card front. So let me just slide that aside here. We'll get the trimmer where it needs to be. And I'm going to cut some strips. So I'll start with my Misty Moonlight. And I am just going to cut, let's see, 2 3/4 inch strips from my paper here. So just going to line that up at 3/4, and then I'm going to do that again. So I have a pair of them. Whoops. Moved it a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to do that same thing with the Azure Afternoon. I'm going to do 2 of those at 3/4 inches. And cut that, and then I'm going to do another one of those 3/4 inches. Now the width is just, I'm using one of the card bases I usually have prepared around here, but we're going to trim it so it doesn't matter what that original size is. And then I'm going to actually take a larger piece of Balmy Blue. I want a 1.5 inch strip of this one. Okay, so we've got the strips to kind of create our card front here. And let me share with you the first challenge I had when I was doing this. So I was originally going to do some using our brushes here, and I was going to just use ink, and I was going to mask things. I don't know, that got kind of messy. So I decided that I wasn't going to go that direction today. But what I wanted to do is put these colored pieces of paper, the strips, across here. And I wanted them right up next to each other. And then I wanted to stamp on this because I decided I was going to even add more interest to this card front because I wanted to emboss it. Well, remember the rule. When we're going to stamp on something that we're going to emboss, you always stamp first, emboss second, right? So I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to hold these in place, you know, and do all my stamping. I was afraid that they were going to move on me. So I had to figure out how to keep them in place. Well, the answer, use an adhesive sheet. Okay, so I'm actually going to create the area that I want covered with these colored strips right on my card front by adhering a piece of adhesive sheet that you can get in our catalog. And what this is it's going to help us make what will look like a sticker on our card front. And I've cut this actually to be 4 inches wide, so it goes to the edge. And then I have it at 4.5 because all of these strips add up to 4.5 inches in width. Okay, so let me just pull the back off my adhesive paper so that I can get it set on here. And I'll tell you, it helps if I put it on something dark because I can see all the edges. So I'm just going to bring out my silicone mat here. Not for the stickiness, but just to be able to see it. And then I'm going to just eyeball. This doesn't have to be exact. And I just took off one little piece of the backing so that I can get this straight and then continue to pull off more backing as I adhere this. And so I've got this lined up. And I go from the middle out of pushing that in place, okay? And then I can pick this up and I can take out the next piece of the adhesive covering. And then I'm going to start pressing from the center of this and then off to the side so it stays nice and smooth and flat. And then I'm going to pick up the third section here and peel off that piece of the adhesive covering. Okay, so now I've got that. And then once again, I'll just start pushing that down in the center to keep everything straight and smooth. Okay, so now this isn't sticky yet because I have to take the other side of the adhesive sheet off of the card front. So I'm just gonna do that from one of the corners. And then leave all of that adhesive on my card front, okay? So now we're ready to start putting down our strips of colored paper. And I'm going to start, I decided this one I'm going to show you going from dark to light and then light to dark. And I'll tell you what, the lights here, I think I'll be able to see it better. Well, I could have just done it on the other side, but I think I need to see it up front here. I want to make sure I cover that adhesive. And I'm eyeballing this to be straight. Then I'm going to take the Azure Afternoon and I'm going to butt that right up. And sometimes I found if I just kind of hold it on both edges and place the edge in there, that then when I, flip it down, it's in place. Now I'm going to take the center, my balmy blue. I think it's time to change the blade on my trimmer. I got little pieces of like fuzz. You know what, I got to do it this way. There we go. I'm right-handed. All right, so I'm just pushing it up against there and then pressing down. Okay, now I'm going to build it back out, starting with Azure Afternoon again. There we go. And then Misty Moonlight at the bottom. And there we go. And then on the edge here, I've covered all my adhesive. In case you have a little bit peeking out, just rub it and you can make it roll up on your finger and go away. All right. So now we have our card front. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. Oh, I'm trying to think. I think I put it right through like this and then I trimmed it in the end. Let's do that. So I am just thrilled with this Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder. They're going to be sharing with us some of these larger folders. Now this will fit a whole card base in it, which is awesome, right? Because we have to usually pick back or front to get this. And this is 3D, so when I make my sandwich, I'm going to have a special plate to do this. And when I'm looking at this, the top here, the one thing I wanted to share with you is since this does have a center, I'm going to kind of try to have that find the center of my card just because these circles go around, so I can kind of look at them from the sides as well and the top and bottom, and that's pretty much right in the center of the circles. And I'm going to just run this through my emboss machine over here. And while I was coming on here and there was a little problem with my connection, I was distracted and I forgot to tell you to please sign in on the comments. Oh, got my power cord sliding around here. Let's see. Okay. Let me just crank this through. But anyway, please sign in and let me know where you're watching from. And I have to see if I had that all the way down. Nope, I got to put the end back through. Just a minute. As the cord was falling, I moved my machine. All right, so let me fix this. But anyway, sign in and let me know where you're watching from. And use the comments if you have any questions or comments on the project. All right, and voila, we are going to have our, I think the texture in this is just gorgeous. Can you see the concentric circles? Now, what's really nice is because this is double cardstock that went through with the embossing folder, the circles on here are really raised quite a bit, which is really neat. Okay, let me get my trimmer back here so now I can trim the sides of our card front. And I'm going to turn this upside down so that I can see where the card front is and line this up to get a very straight cut. And a couple of these circles just need a little extra trim. There we go. And get these out of the way, and I'll flip it over and do it the other way. Okay, and I'm actually putting the side of the 4-inch card front right at the cutting tray or whatever where the blade goes, and then cutting that. And you know, this one gave it a little extra. I think I'm going to trim it with a regular scissors because the blade is just, like I said, I think I need to sharpen my blade, put a sharp blade in there. So I'm just going to trim this off. And always easier if you use a longer scissors for this. All right, there we go. Let me get this all out of the way. Oh, and you know what I just did? I got too anxious and I actually embossed this before I stamped it. And what did I just tell you you had to do? You have to stamp before you emboss. All right, now what to do? I think what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp the images and I'll cut them out with dies and put them right on top of here. And I'll show you the difference of how it looks when you actually stamp before you emboss. So I get talking, you guys, and I forget what I'm trying to show you. So let me just grab a piece of cardstock here. And let's do this because we can still get our lesson on the analogous color theory. All right, so I am going to use some pebbled path on here, kind of a darker contrast to the blues to actually cut out my images. Wow, this is a brand new ink pad. I am going to just get a little bit of this ink off of here because I did hit around the edges. All right, and let's just make sure, if I do it gently again, that I've got everything. And then we're going to just stamp that. These are nice cling stamps, so no pierce mats needed. Well, hello, Betty. Hi, Donna. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you guys. Wonderful day in Wisconsin today. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to do some rain clouds. I don't know how these are going to look. We might just end up with our little guy with the umbrella. All right, and I'm going to be cutting out a label, but let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment right now. So we'll have that ready to cut out. Oh, and of course, I didn't press hard enough. Try again. So it's always nice. There's two sides to every piece of cardstock there. Now we've got that. All right, let's see. We'll see what else we need to do inside the card once we finish the outside. I am going to just cut these out just a little bit so I can get the dies out and use my mini emboss machine, because that way you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's kind of get these all set up to go in the mini emboss machine, mini cut and emboss machine. Here we go. And we've got our base plate here and our cutting plate, the bottom one where the blades are going to go towards. I'm going to take some of my washi tape here and let me get out those dies. So now this is an Encore stamp set that still is in the annual catalog. This was in the last one, but they decided to carry it over. Very popular. Oh, good. I can cut the clouds out. And let's just see if we're going to need anything else. So let's get this up here a little bit so you can see it as I knock the computer over. All right. So we got our little fox here. Tell you, this was appropriate earlier this summer. I don't think we saw much sun. Every other day at least it rained, if not daily. So that was kind of what was on my mind when I decided to use the stamp set. Plus, I think these little critters are very cute. Okay, so we've got that one. I'm going to line that up on here. Then let's do the clouds. And if I can, you know, get as many things as possible on my cutting plate, the lower the number of times I have to put something through. I kind of like to do that. Makes things just a little quicker. Okay, I don't think I'll be able to get the label on right now. So let's put these two through. I'm going to put my other cutting plate on top and line these up so they're ready to go through. Okay, so we have those two done. Just set them out here and let's do the label. I need one more piece of little washi tape here. I like to find the washi tape that comes off kind of easy. Some washi tape is harder. This one's hard to get off of here, but as far as sticking to the paper. Okay, so I'm just going to center what I stamped here. And then I flip my cutting plates to keep them from warping. Now I'll turn this one this way. They will last longer and not crack as quickly if you remember to flip them. All right. Let's just set this aside for now. So we've got our label. Now this is from the painted labels. So this isn't necessarily, this goes with the stamp set. I'm trying to remember. It's a flower stamp set, but I liked the size of this label, so that's why I used it. So I'll just take that aside. Let's go ahead and get our fox. There we go with him. Now, since my lesson today is really about using these colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, I am not coloring these in because I'm focusing on the color on the card. So we're just going to have stamped images on basic white. All right, so now let me go ahead and I'm going to mount this on top of my card front. So let's find some regular size dimensionals. All right. And well, this one I'm going to glue right down. And I'm going to show you, I'm using the other side of my glue. And this is so thick. I like the glue because it really helps hold this on. And this side of the glue I hadn't used before. But I don't know if a week ago or two, if you guys remember, I left this out on my desk too long and I totally blocked up the little side of my glue. So now I'm using this large side, and I just kind of pushed the glue around and it really worked well. So anyway, sometimes my mistakes end up in me learning something new. So, okay, so we've got that centered. I liked the dark because I think it made this pop. So that's why I chose to mount this on Misty Moonlight. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put our little guy with his umbrella. I don't know if he's singing in the rain, but if he isn't, he should be. All right, so I'm just going to put a number of these on here. And then I'm going to get my clouds on here. I'm also going to pop them up. And then I have my rainy days to get on the front. Okay, so before I do this, I'm going to set him on here because I'm going to try to figure out where I put that label. So we've got some clouds. And then we've got this label. And so maybe if I set this up here, I can kind of overlap a cloud or two, you know, depending upon where I put my dimensional. There, I think I can kind of do it like that. And we don't need to put raindrops in there. We got all these circles, right? I'm just taking the adhesive part off the dimensionals and going to line him up kind of towards the bottom so I have enough room. Slide the clouds to the side and get the main label where I want it. Kind of right in the center, but show a little bit of white above it. Good. And put the clouds on. And then for the inside, I'm going to use actually the Misty Moonlight. You guys, it's not even Monday. Anyway, I'm just laughing. I'm having one of those days where I'm trying to do a zillion things. And I think it's very interesting when you do that. Because I was out actually scrubbing lawn furniture only 30 minutes before I came in here. So, yeah, it's one of those days, but I'm having fun. I hope you are too. We'll just kind of roll with it. That's kind of how my stamping days go too. If I want to get it in, I got to do it in between things. So anyway, for the inside, I think what I'm going to do is just have clouds and a little rain. And that's going to be the inside of this card. And I'm not going to put any more sentiment in there. I want room where I can write. So let's just kind of create a little cloud cover here at the top of our card. That might just be too much. I'm going to just leave that for now and put little raindrops. Okay, and close that up. And let's go ahead and just put this inside the card as the card insert. I just like how this larger end pushes the glue around. Anyway, fun. Got a little extra over here. Can flip that little wedge over and move it. Okay. Okay, we've got our rain. So we can write in there, and we've got our rainy days with the different colors and how they blend. Let me show you the sunny day one and how that one plays out a little bit differently. And I used the order of the colors a little differently. I put the lightest on the outside and then came in with the darkest and then, did the middle color in the middle. So, you can see how you like to use those colors when they're next to each other on the color wheel. But when I said about setting the mood, does this one feel like a rainy day? And does this one feel like a sunny day? Oh, happy day. And then on this one, I just did the flowers along the bottom. So I'm looking to see if you have any questions. Oh, Donna, I'm so glad you can appreciate when I make mistakes. And I'm glad you like these. I have a number of reminders for you guys today. There is a lot going on. Can you believe we're past the middle of August? So I want to make sure that if anybody ordered something last month and earned bonus day coupons, don't forget that you need to redeem them before August 31st because then they will expire. So as long as you use them before August 31st, you're good to go. And then also remember that this month, through the 31st of August, we are having a designer series paper sale. And so 15% off these that are from the annual catalog. So there are some that were actually available prior to that. So like Bright and Beautiful, Countryside Inn, Country Lace, Country Woods, The Full of Life, Lily Pad, Lily Pond Lane, Perennial Lavender, Mediterranean Blooms, Take to the Sky, Thoughtful Journey, Unbounded Beauty, To Market, Wildly Flowering, and Winter Meadow. So these are all beautiful, and as I said, $15 off. So that's a great deal. And just so that you know, if you make a $50 purchase this month, then I will be emailing you a To Market paper, which is in this deal. Didn't I say To Market? Maybe I didn't. On another set of stamps that we have, this is a 4-card free tutorial. And this is so bright and cheery. Set, you could use these card designs for any supplies that you do have. And they're very detailed with measurements, pictures of how to do it. And you could come up with a whole lot of cards using this as a guide. And then we're getting very close to launching the next mini catalog on September 4th. You'll be able to order from this mini catalog. It will be available online, but if you would like a hard copy of the catalog, please email me at Tracy, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com and send me your mailing address, your telephone number, and a good time to reach you so that once I send you a catalog, I can make sure that you receive it. And then want to tell you that this week, Friday, I am going to be doing a crop. It's a 2-hour event. It is $14.95, and it's Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And what happens in a crop, first 15 minutes is a question and answer session about stamping, paper crafting, anything that you are wondering about, you bring those questions and I will answer them for you. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it out. Then the second 45 minutes is a lesson. So the lesson this time is going to be how to make a quick mini scrapbook. So this is a 5x7 mini, what I call a mini scrapbook. And what I'm going to show you how to do is how, basic scrapbooking techniques to set this all up for making a scrapbook. And, how to do backgrounds, how to layer things. Then I'm going to talk about journaling and how to incorporate that into your book. And then we're going to talk about embellishing your book to make some pages really special. This is a fast way to make a wonderful memory about something, to give this as a gift or have this be a gift for yourself. Oops, those pages are kind of stuck together. So anyway, just how to kind of stuff, right? Then we have an hour of crafting together. And so all the people that sign up for the crop then are able to work on their own projects, talk to each other, get advice for what to do. We share what we're working on, and it's a great time. And before you know it, we've had 2 hours of scheduled stamping fun, and great. And we do that at least monthly. So those were the reminders. Let me come back on camera here and say thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you liked a little color theory. I will be bringing more of this to you to help as you're trying to pick colors for your cards, as well as designing your scrapbook pages. I really love playing with our colors. One of the reasons that I use Stampin' Up as my go-to company for scrapbook and stamping and paper crafting supplies is because of their color coordination. You know, projects look great because everything matches. You know, the inks, the cardstock, the embellishments, the ribbons. You know, I don't have to go try to find it on a shelf somewhere in a store where, of course, they're not going to have one part of what I wanted to match all of this. And then they also have these wonderful stamp sets that have so many images that can help bring our wishes and our thoughts to life as we share them with our loved ones. So anyway, with that said, I can't wait, and I hope to see some of you Friday in our crap. Well, what do I mean? Some of you. I'd love to see all of you in the crap Friday morning, and we'll have some more fun together. So anyway, have a great week if I don't see you until next Wednesday, and happy stamping, friends. Bye-bye.